Check out the hypocrisy, y'all. Zimbabwe is tightening up their borders after they received 60,000 of their people back from South Africa. They looking at that crisis. They call it a crisis. Undocumented immigrants fleeing South Africa. Oh no, you cannot come to Zimbabwe. If you do, you got to pass through.
What you don't want, don't ever force someone to accept it. Please help me and let's read this together.
But guys, other things is like you guys are trying to make us talk. You really think that you can go to Zimbabwe without documentation? Like seriously? Zimbabwe is not a banana republic. Zimbabwe is not a banana republic. You have proper documentation before you go to Zimbabwe. But guys,
for demanding that the right thing be done in their country. Let me give you a story. As a true crime story lover, I was watching one of these true crime stories as always. And this time around, it took us to America. A man unalived his pregnant wife and he was charged and sentenced to life imprisonment. But his pastor and church members worked so hard to secure his release because they said he has repented, is now a good guy. Hello everyone, my name is Lillian and I appreciate you for clicking on this video. If you are my returning viewer, I appreciate you for coming back. Please do it to give this video a like and don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section of the video. Today's video is, I will say, a feedback because I posted a video here some days ago or maybe yesterday. I included a video of somebody that said that the government of Zimbabwe is tightening its borders. So I've already touched on the issue. So why we are here today is the reactions. Now, when I saw that video, I thought maybe it's something that is done hiddenly. The Zimbabwean government do not want people to know that they are tightening its borders like other African countries are doing right now. I thought that was it. I did not know that it is a public service announcement. It is something that is written on blogs, national dailies. In fact, it's not a hidden secret. And here we are today with the reactions because fellow Africans are not buying it. Like how? A lot of Africans are feeling betrayed by the behavior of the Zimbabwean government. Like, why did you allow us team together with you to crucify South Africa for wanting their borders secured, for wanting undocumented people out of their country, only for you to go behind our backs and secure your own and even make it public? Let us take a look at some of the reactions and I'll be right back.
Check out the hypocrisy, y'all. Zimbabwe is tightening up their borders after they received 60,000 of their people back from South Africa. They looking at that crisis. They call it a crisis. Undocumented immigrants fleeing South Africa. Oh no, you cannot come to Zimbabwe. If you do, you got to pass through. Yeah, you don't got to go home, but you cannot stay here. That's what Zimbabwe is saying. And the hypocrisy, because everybody is like, well, you know, South Africa, they have to bear the burden of Africa. Like, isn't Africa for Africans? If that's the case, how come Zimbabwe borders, they're tightening up their borders? This is no different than when Trump closed the borders, the U.S. borders. Mexico stopped allowing people to come through Mexico. They tightened up their borders because they know exactly what they were doing. They were allowing people from all over the world pass through Mexico because they know that they were going to the United States. Now that stopped, they're like, nope, we got to tighten up our borders now. Same in this situation, but Africa always preach Pan-Africanism, right? Africa is for Africans. How come Zimbabwe is tightening their border? And if you look at it in real time, in real life, it sounds nice, but it seems like it's a very parasitic ideology, because they always talk about Pan-Africanism when you have a group of people eating off somebody else's country, eating off another group of people, but they never teach, hey, build your countries, make it where your countries is also lucrative for other people, so it could be a transactional relationship. Could you imagine every time you held a potluck, you the one that always bring the food to the table, and the rest of the people only bring their appetites, and they never contribute, or they try to scam you? Yeah, but look at the hypocrisy, y'all. Zimbabwe say, you know what? Hell no, y'all can't come here. Our borders is closed. We're tightening up our borders. Y'all gotta bounce, man.
What you don't want, don't ever force someone to accept it. Please help me and let's read this together. Zimbabwe tightens border security as foreign nationals fleeing South Africa. That means Zimbabwe is tightening its border as foreign nationals are being chased out from South Africa. So now my question is, what happens to African unity? What happens to Africa belongs to Africans? What happens to Pan-Africanism? What happens to One Africa? What happens to we are all Africans? Okay, let's put this in shape. Let us all accept that South Africans are doing the wrong thing. You understand? South Africans are chasing African migrants or illegal migrants or foreigners from their country. As a Zimbabwean African brother, you have to give them shelter to set an example to South Africans that, bro, since you are chasing them out, I'm going to accept them and give them shelter. I'm going to give them shelters. But guess what? Zimbabwe is rather tightening border security because they'll feel that these foreign nationals or these people that are being chased out from South Africa, they might end up in Zimbabwe and to be a threat on their national security. Yes, what you don't want, what you cannot accept, do not force anyone to accept it. This is pure hypocrisy. You understand? That means you think that this foreign national, this illegal migrant that are being chased out from South Africa or that are running for their life from South Africa, you cannot accommodate them. But the entire continent of Africa, we are all against South Africa for chasing them. So why don't you give them shit? Why don't you accept them? Why don't you lodge them to set an example to South Africans that, hey, if you are chasing them out, me Zimbabwe, I'm going to give them shelter. I am going to give them shelter. They cannot do that, but they are forcing South Africans to accept it, no matter how the consequence, no matter what the condition. South Africans to accept them, but for them, they cannot accept them. And those that they are tightening their borders against, it's not Indians, they are not Chinese, they are not whites, they are black Africans. They are black Africans. They are not even coming there. They have not even raised any alarm that they are coming there, but they have putting things in place to tighten up their borders so that if they are coming, they are going to block them. They are going to block them. You see, Africa, if you don't stop the hypocrisy, Africa will never be better. Africa will never be better. It's either we fight for our individual countries or we all perish together. Because as we are all running away to go and seek shelter in other African nations, who fight for us in our various countries? Nobody. So Zimbabwe cannot accommodate foreign nationals in their country, so they are tightening their border securities, but they want South Africans. Charlie, it's sad.
But guys, other things is like you guys are trying to make us talk. You really think that you can go to Zimbabwe without documentation? Like seriously? Zimbabwe is not a banana republic. Zimbabwe is not a banana republic. You have proper documentation before you go to Zimbabwe. But guys, some things, no. It's like you are just trying to provoke us to talk. You are just trying to provoke us to talk. You know it. Everyone knows it. You do not play with the law in Zimbabwe. Even Zimbabweans are afraid to break Zimbabwean law. And then you go to Zimbabwe without documentation, without permits. Really?
There you have it. She has made it clear. The lady that have been inviting a lot of people into her country, but there's something she didn't tell them at the beginning. Or she didn't tell my fellow Africans to get their documents ready, to make sure they have their passports. She only said they are free to come to Zimbabwe and do their businesses there. You see the way we are all coming at South Africans. I wouldn't say we, but since my country is part of, so I'm part of. I like it or not, as a Nigerian, an average South African that do not know my channel sees me as a potential enemy. Not enemy of wanting to unalive each other, but enemy of banter, agenda, enemy of wanting respect at all costs. Since my country is a part of, I'm also a part of. So I will say we. You see this behavior we are all behaving towards South Africans? To bounce back on each and every country that is going hard on South Africans for demanding that the right thing be done in their country. Let me give you a story. As a true crime story lover, I was watching one of these true crime stories as always, and this time around it took us to America. A man unalived his pregnant wife and he was charged and sentenced to life imprisonment. But his pastor and church members worked so hard to secure his release because they said he has repented, is now a good guy. Is it a parole? Yeah, he was given a parole. The pastor spent a lot of money to secure his release. And of course, the judge granted him the parole and the pastor took him. Now they got him back into the society, tried to reintegrate him. The pastor, the church, everybody helped him. And while in church, he fell in love with the pastor's daughter. The pastor's daughter happened to be a divorced mother of 2. She have got 2 kids with her ex-husband. She was single. Her divorce is finalized. She was very single. So she started a relationship with this man that just got released from prison. After unaliving his pregnant wife, she knows. Pastor daughter knows. Pastor knows. Everybody knew. Everybody knew that this guy was guilty. But he was released to them because they wanted him out, right? Fine, he got married to the pastor daughter and they built a family together, blessed with 2 kids. And then one day, from nowhere, that guy unalived all the 4 kids, the one they had together and the one the pastor's daughter had previously. He unalived them all. And because of where the pew hit her, she became incapable to walk. She became disabled and on wheelchair. He was rearrested and taken back into custody. I wanted to see if pastor will go back and say, come out again, because you should be forgiven. Be careful. And this is why it is important to be careful. They do not want undocumented immigrants in their country. They are telling them to go. So Melo, in case you see this video, please keep inviting people to your country, okay? The ones from South Africa, pack them to your country. All right. I hope they help you build the economy. But I heard that there's a protest that will happen soon and she's one of the leaders, which I intend to support her. So I thought maybe she wanted to take that route of wanting to just take people into her country. But I didn't know that she has suddenly changed her mind. So at this point, Africans, can we all apologize to South Africans for trolling, dragging, lying against them because they ask your brothers and sisters to go back and come back legitimately? They are not even blaming your people. They are saying that their immigration service is corrupt, their home affairs, something is wrong. They want to fix it. They ask your people to go and come back again. You say you are not happy. But now look at what Zimbabwe is doing. Is it good? Let me know. Is it good? I would like to read. Is it good? And of course, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.